Two former Denver police officers fired for joking about shooting migrants are back working in law enforcement. Why police chief says that they deserve a second chance.
A tiny healer puppy with a huge heart has an even bigger fight ahead. How you can help give her the healthy future she deserves.
But first, holiday travel season is officially here now.
Right. Today, DIA says it will be one of their 3 busiest days all week and the busiest one before Thanksgiving on Thursday. Niners reporter Jennifer Meckles joins us live from the airport. Jenny, is just going to get busier and busier there as the day goes on.
Yes, it will. It's already been busier since I last saw you guys an hour ago. Me and 10,000s of my best friends all joining us here at DIA this morning. You know, traditionally we think of the Wednesday before Thanksgiving as the busiest travel day, but experts always say build an extra time. And y'all at home, you're getting pretty smart because you're listening. Very smart call. So let's talk about some of the numbers. We just came off weeks of travel disruptions during the government shutdown. Airlines say they're really starting to normalize now, but the airports say air travel is like bonkers this year. The FAA says we're going to hit a 15-year Thanksgiving travel high this week. They guess that today alone there will be 56,000 flights across the entire country. So good luck finding an empty seat to sit next to today. And DIA is expecting some 845,000 travelers all throughout this week.
For years, we've told travelers that the biggest way to avoid Thanksgiving travel headaches is to build in an extra day when they travel. So if you need to be somewhere Thursday, try getting there by Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. We're not seeing extra stress on the system, but just know if you've got the bright idea to travel by air, so do millions of other Americans, and it's going to be a little bit busier than usual there.
So if you guys wanted me to give you a status update, you can see behind me just getting the check-in here. Hi, everybody's very friendly this morning. Hi. It is getting busier. So far I have seen only polite adults, very sleepy children, and guys, 0 fist fights. So hopefully that'll hold all morning. Let's also talk about road travel because lots of people are going to be hitting the roads this holiday season starting today probably if they haven't already. Erica Lopez is joining us to take a look at your traffic this morning.
You're exactly right, Jenny. Thank you so much for your reporting out at DIA. I know earlier you were stuck on the drive out to Denver International Airport along delays on Pena Boulevard. Happy to report at 6:01 if you are catching an early morning flight out, those delays on Pena have cleared out. Live look out here from our CDOT cameras right now, I-25 84th. I would say we're moving nicely. Southbound, northbound lanes not giving us any trouble. Been a different look though in the high country. We got some snow and flurries are still flying out here. The Eisenhower-Johnson Tunnel area along I-70 as far as the interstate is concerned. In the last 15 minutes, I've really seen an improvement on the interstate with plows really making their way through. It does look like we've got a semi with their hazards on. They could just be taking a little bit of a break. Of course, we do have active chain and traction law, so maybe they're putting those chains on this morning, but make sure you're prepared making your drive through the I-70 mountain corridor, whether you're a commercial vehicle or regular vehicle, that you've got 4-wheel, all-wheel drive, chain, snow mode, or snow tires. Let's take you over to what we're seeing on our map really quickly. Big picture of the Denver metro area, quiet. Feels like a holiday out here for the drive. We're really not seeing any increased volume on our main interstates. And again, I do want to let you know we've cleared out along Pena. So if you're catching an early morning flight out, no longer seeing any crazy delays out there, which is really nice to report. We'll send things over to Katie now for a check of your forecast.
Good to hear, Erica. Thank you so much for that. 6:03, and she was just mentioning the I-70 drive heading to and from the mountains. We have been seeing some snow shower activity this morning. CDOT plows have been out and about, keeping those roads clear, but you will find some winter driving conditions over higher terrain this morning. It will not last long. So this is not by any means a big storm system for Colorado. It will be colder for today. Partly cloudy skies, dry for the Denver area, but it is only 35 degrees downtown right now. Chilly out the door, so definitely want to layer up. Your radar picture over the last couple of hours, we have seen off and on snow showers, a little bit moderate at times, but right now just some light flurry activity. You will find slightly more snow further near Empire, St. Mary's, and over Rocky Mountain National Park this morning. Over the next 3 to 5 hours, that's where we're going to be seeing continued snow showers over portions of the high country west of Snowmass into Carbondale. A little light sprinkle flurry activity possible, but then we will clear out quickly here across the state. So if you have any travel plan later on today, you're waiting for that window, it'll be this afternoon, nice and dry. For right now, we're seeing temperatures drop below freezing near Evergreen in the upper 20s, same near Breck, upper 30s currently in Greeley. As the sun rises, 6:55 officially, it'll be the coldest temperature of the day by 10 o'clock, 40 degrees. Skies will clear and we're expecting a high of 44. So 5 degrees below average for this time of the year. 10 degrees cooler than yesterday. So definitely definitely want to be prepared. It'll be a chill in the air for this Tuesday, but dry this afternoon. Tomorrow, milder, partly cloudy, a little more light northern mountain moisture. Nice for Thanksgiving, but we are keeping our eyes to the sky. A powerful storm system set to roll in for the weekend, bringing some very cold air, widespread snow. It's still a ways out, so we're tracking the timing of this, but we are looking at a good chance for seeing snow showers here in Denver. The first of the season. This would officially make it the second latest first snowfall in Denver on record if we get it this weekend, guys.
All right, Katie, crossing our fingers. New this morning, a Douglas County jury has found 25-year-old Blair Brindley guilty after he ran from police following an illegal U-turn in Castle Rock. Officers say that Brindley ran a red light, sped off from a Walmart parking lot, and then drove recklessly, endangering drivers and pedestrians. The pursuit was called off for safety, but investigators later identified Brindley through a passenger and flock camera footage. Brindley will be sentenced January 16th and faces up to 3 years in prison.
A terrible tragedy on the roads last night. 5 people, including 3 children, are dead after a head-on crash south of Franktown in Douglas County. 2 other kids survived the crash and are in the hospital. This happened in a pretty rural area south of Franktown at about 4:40 yesterday afternoon. Colorado State Patrol says the driver of a small Toyota sedan was headed south on Highway 83 and lost control into the right shoulder. CSP says the driver tried to correct it and then crashed head-on into another car headed northbound. The driver of the Toyota was thrown from the car and killed. The sedan that they crashed into had an adult driver and 5 kids inside of it. That driver and 3 of the kids inside the car were killed. The other 2 kids were flown to a hospital nearby. This morning, we are working on getting an update on the status of the 2 kids that are still in the hospital. State Patrol is investigating the circumstances surrounding the crash.
2 former Denver police officers who were fired for joking about shooting migrants are now back working in law enforcement. Last year, we reported on the terminations of Megan Joy, Scott Persichetti, and Rodrigo Reserto. They made jokes in a text thread talking about target practice at migrant shelters. 9 News Investigates has learned that Reserto has recently been hired as an officer in the city of Sheridan, just south of Denver, and Persichetti has been hired in the town of Keensburg, just south of Greeley. He is training to be a school resource officer, and that all doesn't sit well with one migrant advocacy group.
Those are the people, the face of the department, and sometimes these are the first times kids have any interaction with the officer. And of course, you know, it's going to get out that he was fired for making some racial comments. And it's going to be disturbing to some of the kids that are there.
The chiefs of police who hired those officers each told us that they believed in second chances and that the 2 officers are excelling in their new roles. Records show the other officer, Megan Joy, has kept her state police certification but is not currently working in law enforcement.
9 News Investigates has also learned this month's large fentanyl bust at a storage unit in Douglas County is part of a multi-state federal investigation. Court documents show more than 5 million fentanyl pills were seized across Colorado and New Mexico as part of the same operation. Officials in New Mexico announced a record seizure this month along with 16 arrests, among them a man who DEA identified as the Sinaloa cartel leader. The next day here in Colorado, that man's brother was arrested during a bust where authorities found 800,000 pills. And then last week, investigators uncovered another 1.7 million inside a storage unit in Douglas County. Deputies say someone bought what looked like an abandoned locker and immediately called authorities.
Minutes of that phone call, they were able to link this seizure that you see here to an ongoing and active DEA investigation.
At least 20 people have now been arrested in this case.
A court in Denver has ruled that strippers are protected under the city's wage laws. The decision backs a Denver auditor's investigation that found clubs like Diamond Cabaret and Rick's Cabaret committed wage theft. Investigators say the clubs refused to provide payroll records and argued that dancers were not covered by city rules. Despite multiple appeals from the clubs, the court sided with Denver labor, saying that the city does have the authority to investigate and enforce wage laws. The strip clubs at the center of the court battle say that they will appeal again. The auditor's office is also trying to get Diamond Cabaret and Rick Cabaret to pay nearly $14 million in restitution for more than 200 workers.
Your time is 6:08 on this Tuesday, November 25th. We're waking up to partly cloudy skies, dry conditions in Denver. It's colder out there this morning with temperatures in the 30s. Later on today, a pretty chilly afternoon, but the sun will be shining. 44 degrees, the expected high. Mountain moisture that we have seen this morning, light, will taper off. So for today, tonight into early tomorrow morning, dry conditions. We have another round of seeing a few brief showers for our northern mountains as we get into Wednesday, but we're really bracing for our next storm system. That'll bring in more widespread precipitation. Very cold air for the weekend. Thanksgiving holiday, Erica, looks nice, but I'll take you through the 7-day forecast and what it looks like for Saturday and Sunday because some big changes are on the way after the break.
And you are not kidding about those changes, Katie. Thank you. 6:09, let's talk about your traffic impact commute this Tuesday morning. Denver metro area, really quiet. Roads are dry. We're not seeing a whole lot of volume. Clear for your commute out to DIA if you are catching an early morning flight. However, it's the mountains that are looking a bit different this morning. We are dealing with snowy conditions out here. Plows are doing their best and things are looking a bit better. But we do have active chain and traction laws just outside of Georgetown, making your way into Silverthorne as well as along Loveland Pass. So just make sure you're prepared making your drive through the mountains this morning.